It all starts with the Watcher narrating how Hulk fell from the stars. Just as it happened in the movie, he fell from the sky to the Sanctum Sanctorum, but the Watcher tells us that he fell into an unfamiliar place. We see Doctor Strange breaking everything, and starting to say that Thanos is coming, but in the Sanctum Sanctorum, there's no one, neither Wong nor Strange. But we can see Stephen Vincent's cape observing Bruce from above. We see Dr. Banner coming out, and in the desolate city, there's no one. He is surprised and tells himself that he thinks he is too late. At that moment, something cosmic resembling the Bifrost appears, and Thanos' servants arrive to start conquering the Earth, just as it happened in the movie. This is when Dr. Banner wants to transform into Hulk, but he can't. At that moment, one of Thanos' servants starts talking, saying that they are going to conquer the Earth. However, if he opens a portal like only Doctor Strange and Wong can do, Iron Man's hand appears and punches the guy. Bruce Banner is very happy and says, "Tony, you finally made it." Iron Man, along with Doctor Strange and Wong, starts fighting the enemies, but Bruce Banner gets scared because they fight strangely and bite them on their body parts. After they finish the fight, we see Iron Man's neck contaminated. We see his face, and he is a zombie. Doctor Strange has also turned into a zombie. Bruce Banner gets scared and doesn't know what is happening. Then Iron Man starts aiming at him with one of his hands, but Doctor Strange's cape saves Bruce. Dr. Banner starts running, but Wong opens a portal and is about to trap him. At that moment, Doctor Strange's cape intervenes again and saves him by cutting off the zombie's head. Finally, we see that Bruce Banner is captured and cannot escape, and these zombies are going to eat him. But just at that moment, many insects appear and end up devouring these subjects. Then, Wasp shows up with her giant ants, and orders Spider-Man to take Dr. Banner to a safe place. Dr. Banner is very scared, and asks what the hell just happened. At that moment, the Watcher interrupts everything to tell us what has happened. He tells us that every disaster occurs because of an act of love. We learn that 2 weeks before, Dr. Hank Pym traveled to the quantum realm in search of his lost beloved wife, Janet, who had been trapped in this realm for several decades. But in this universe, Janet Van Dyne contracted a quantum virus that altered her brain, and when she finally reunited with her husband after many long years, Janet ended up infecting Hank Pym with the virus. Sadly, they returned to the realm, and the family reunion never happened. Hank opened the containment chamber, but only a zombie came out. However, Hope managed to shrink and these zombies ended up infecting Scott. This virus spread throughout the Pacific Northwest, so when the Avengers found out about all this, they went out to do something. But at that moment, we see a zombie version of Ultron attacking Captain America's neck without him realizing it. When he feels the bite, it's too late, and we see how the mightiest heroes ended up joining the infected, and all hope was lost. Spider-Man plays a video of how zombie apocalypse survivors can protect themselves. He makes the video with Kurt Happy Hogan and Bucky Barnes. The Winter Soldier, Spider-Man says the virus is spread throughout saliva and instructs people to cover as much skin as possible. He then says the zombies are attracted to humans and maintaining good hygiene reduces the pheromones humans give off. General Okoye tells him to stop playing the video, and he says he was playing it for Bruce. She tells Bruce that she swore an oath to protect her king, and he has been missing since the zombie outbreak. Okoye then says he received a beacon, and the group sees that a survivor camp claims to have made progress with a cure. Bucky says the beacon's location was corrupted in transit, but Sharon realizes it's from the Camp Lehigh in New Jersey. They then realize they must go to Jersey and begin their journey. The group makes their way to a train station and splits up. Bucky and Okoye guard the perimeter while the others repair a train. Hope informs them they need a slingshot, and Spider-Man gets an idea. He uses his web to pull the train to generate enough force to push it. Happy and Sharon secure the area, and Happy gets startled by some bats. An arrow suddenly pierces his shoulder, and he gets dragged into the darkness. Sharon informs the others that they have a man down, and gets hit by an arrow as she says Hawkeye is attacking. Falcon enters the building, and Okoye jumps on him as he flies around. Happy wakes up as a zombie and moves towards Sharon. She struggles to reach her gun, but she uses his laser to kill Happy, and pulls the arrow out of her shoulder. Okoye jumps off Falcon, and he prepares to kill Bucky, but she jumps and cuts him in half. She apologizes for killing Falcon because he was Bucky's friend, but he says he isn't sad. Sharon takes Happy's weapon and runs as Hawkeye shoots at her. Spider-Man says he has generated enough force to push the train, and Bruce tells him to hold it because the others are on their way. Several zombies emerge and attempt to attack Spider-Man, but the cloak saves him. Hope shrinks and defeats the zombies attacking Bucky. The others rush to the train, and it begins to move. The cloak helps Spider-Man enter the train as it moves, and the ignition activates, allowing the train to move on its own. Okoye apologizes and says they should have stayed together instead of splitting up. Sharon hears a sudden noise on the roof. The strange person breaks in through the roof, and Sharon shoots at them. Bucky hears her scream and rushes to the cart she is in. He sees a zombie eating her, and realizes it's Captain America. Captain America stands up and rushes at Bucky. Bucky shoots him as he moves forward, but Captain America protects himself with his shield. They continue fighting, but Bucky eventually pushes Captain America away, and pushes Sharon as she tries to attack him. Hope enters the cart to see what is happening, but Sharon attacks her and Hope shrinks as she enters her mouth. Captain America throws his shield at Bucky, but Bucky catches it and throws it back. The shield cuts Captain America in half, and he falls off the train. Hope grows to her normal size as Spider-Man and Okoye enter. She kills Sharon in the process. Bruce enters and says she's in trouble, and they see a cut on her shoulder. The train continues moving, and Bruce sees that Hope's vitals are going in the wrong way. She says she knows what they must do, but Okoye says they could be minutes away from a cure. Spider-Man says they have to hope because it's what helps people survive in zombie movies. Hope asks Spider-Man how he stays motivated even in their current situation, and he says he has lost many loved ones. He quotes his Aunt May, and says they must keep smiling when others can't. Kurt walks into the cart and says he has bad news. He says the train has run out of fuel, but they are close to their destination. Kurt says they'll have to walk through a swarm of zombies that are outside, and Hope says they can make it over them. Hope says her time is up, and says she has to go out while trying to fix the mess she started. She blames herself for the zombie apocalypse because she didn't think of what her mom would bring back from the quantum realm. She becomes a giant and walks through the zombies while holding the group. She kicks the zombies as they try to attack her, and she drops to the ground in the compound. She asks Peter to smile for her as she falls on the zombies. The group is sad because they have lost another member, but Bucky points out that the zombies aren't climbing through the fence. Spider-Man says they don't have to scale the defense because there's a hole in it, and Kurt says they have to be careful. He talks about a legend called Baba Yaga, and Spider-Man startles him. Vision emerges, and Bruce realizes he must have been using the Mind Stone to keep the zombies at bay. The group enters the building, and Vision says the Mind Stone produces a frequency that the zombies don't like. He explains that the virus affects the brain's limbic system, and he uses targeted exposure to try and reverse the condition. Okoye asks if his experiment worked. Scott Lang suddenly asks them to see for themselves, and they're confused because they don't see anyone. Vision turns a seat around, and they see Scott's head in a jar. Scott makes several dad jokes, and says he misses Hank Pym. Bruce says he will be able to cure others. He says they will need a satellite to broadcast the Mind Stone's frequency worldwide, but Vision says it's a theoretical solution. Vision tells them that human technology isn't advanced enough to carry out their plan, but Okoye says Wakanda has the technology they need. She then says its shield protects it, and humans are still inside. Bucky decides to go around the base searching for transport, but Vision says he won't find what he's looking for. Bucky moves around the base carefully as he searches for a vehicle the group can use. Bruce sees that the building's security logs show that they aren't the first to respond to Vision's signal. They realize there are meant to be more survivors, but Spider-Man wonders where they are. Bucky continues moving around the base and sees several clothes on the floor. He hears a strange noise and shoots at it but sees Wanda, who is a zombie, behind a glass wall. Chala tells Bucky to stop shooting because she will get angry, and Bucky rushes him. He sees Chala is missing a leg, and Chala says they have to run. They meet the others as Vision floats, and Okoye rushes to Chala. Chala says the base is a trap, and Vision has been capturing people and feeding them to Wanda. Vision explains that Wanda's powers are too strong, and she has resisted the treatment he has administered. He says the only other option is to contain her, but Okoye asks why he didn't eliminate her. Bruce tells Vision he led people to their deaths because of love, and Okoye. The group decides to execute Vision, but they hear a strange noise. Vision says they have awakened Wanda, and mentions that she hasn't eaten in days. Wanda uses her powers to break a door and drags Kurt. Bucky shoots at her, and Scott is about to fall from the chair, but the cloak saves him. Spider-Man uses his webs to hold Wanda, but she breaks through. Bruce tells Vision that they must escape. Vision realizes Bruce is right and uses his laser to make a giant hole in the wall. The group runs out of the building, but Wanda uses her powers to grab Okoye and drags her back into the building. Vision uses his laser to make it sink into the ground. He tells them there is a quad jet in the hangar, and says he can't follow them because he has to atone for what he has done. Vision pulls out the Infinity Stone on his forehead, killing himself in the process. Bruce picks up the Infinity Stone, and the zombies begin to enter the compound. Wanda emerges from the rubble, and Bucky asks the others to run as he stalls. She sees Vision dead and gets angry as she deflects Bucky's bullets. The others enter the hangar and see the quad jet. Wanda uses her powers to throw Bucky far away. She rushes to Bruce and tries to bite him, but the Hulk helps him, and he pushes her away. Bruce gives Spider-Man the Infinity Stone, and says he has to stop the zombies so they can escape. He walks into the zombies and transforms into the Hulk. T'Challa pilots the ship, and they fly out of the base as the Hulk fights Wanda. But at that moment we see Giant Man sharing with a zombie and grabbing the jet, but Ray Charla puts it on turbo and they manage to make it let go, so they end up escaping. Peter, Scott, and Ray Charla are about to reach Waterfall, but Peter becomes sentimental because he remembers that a year ago Tony Stark invited him to be part of the Avengers, and now he's not here anymore. As they continue their journey, the Watcher interrupts to tell us that even though humanity is in its darkest moment, humans will always do everything to maintain hope and save their planet, even if it means the destruction of another universe. And we see the zombies hitting the dome of Wakanda. Immediately, we change scenes and find zombie Thanos, who is fine, __. But the most interesting thing and what will blow our minds is that he managed to get all the power stones in his gauntlet and make them work. And right there, this episode leaves us with the question of what happened next. Until now, almost all the universes that the Watcher has told us about have been destroyed in the end. But this time I hope there will be an episode that tells us what really happens next. And that's how the episode, The War, and the zombie episode end. But if you want to see the next post, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. That's all from me. See you next time, kids.